What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy. Another solo stream today. Hashtag solo Pat in the chat. But the Yankees are going for the sweep today against the Chicago White Sox. Played pretty well the first two games. Now they're going to wrap it up going up against Dallas Keuchel. The Yankees have, I believe, Jameson Taillon on the mound. Correct? Yeah, Jameson Taillon. Let's take a look at the Yankees lineup for today. So we got DJ leading it off. Voit in the 2-hole, Judge 3, Urshela 4, Gleyber 5, Sanchez 6, Andujar 7, Frazier's back in the lineup in the 8-hole, Gardner 9, with Taillon on the mound. Honestly, not much to complain about at all. Simply because this is one of the best lineups that the Yankees have put together in quite a few days. And it's actually really promising to see them not putting out a punt lineup for the final game of a series, right? Simply because every time the Yankees win the first two games of a set, it seems like the last game of the series, they just throw a punt lineup out there just to kind of like get through it, and they end up taking 2 out of 3. So I think the Yankees have a really good chance of getting the sweep today. I just wish Taillon wasn't on the mound. But at the same time, Taillon has been pretty good at home. Let me see if I can pull up his home road splits really quick, because I'm almost positive it's a drastic difference. Let me just check this season. Taillon 6'5", by the way. So this year at home in 4 starts, he's only given up 7 earned runs in 21 innings, which gives him a 3 ERA. On the road, same amount of starts, 4. He's given up 17 runs in 16 innings, and that's a 9.18 ERA. So he's been drastically better at home compared to on the road. So hopefully we can see him pitch well today. Another thing to make note of, Aaron Judge is once again DHing. Take that as you will. I don't really know. But yeah, you got Frazier back in right, so hopefully he can get the ball rolling after his neck things that he dealt with. Not too sure. But at least Gardner's not in the 2-hole anymore, right? Because like you guys know this about me. I don't hate Brett Gardner, but I don't think he's a 2-hitter easily. So you put him in that 9-hole, I kind of like him a little bit better. Let's go back to the normal screen here. Alex with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Alex. Wow, a non-punt lineup while going for the sweep. I'm here for it. Give me a non-punt lineup every day of the week, and I'll be the happiest guy alive. Look at the Brian finger guns. Bang, bang, bang. Appreciate the dono, my man. Let's take a look at some of the chat comments. Pat Soggy Chicken Bucket says, we better steal Keuchel's lunch money. We are. Today, I genuinely hope the Yankees just look at Dallas Keuchel right in the eyes and say, I'm taking your lunch money. Just because, bro, just finish off a sweep against the second-best team in the American League. I saw a graphic that Yes Network posted on their Twitter today, and I believe the Yankees have the best record in the American League since 420. So there you go. Justin Dominguez says Stanton coming back on Tuesday. I believe so. Because I'm pretty sure they said he'll be ready for the next series. With an off day tomorrow, a much needed off day, actually, because before tomorrow's off day, I don't think the Yankees have had an off day for like 2 weeks, right? And then after this, I don't think they have another off day for 2 weeks. So I know they have a lot of off days in the month of June, but it's going to be a tough stretch just getting there. So I believe he is likely returning Tuesday. Apparently, Boone said before today's game, I know he's doing well, he's tracking well, and we'll see what the off day looks like and see where we're at Tuesday. That kind of leads me to believe that he will be back on Tuesday. Maybe that's just me being optimistic. I don't know. Matt says a sweep would be nice. A sweep would be beautiful. Bro, when was the last time the Yankees had a sweep? The Tigers? And like at the same time, the Tigers are just like, eh. I want to see them sweep a really good team. And by sweeping the White Sox, you do that. That you just kind of make yourself known. I don't know. It's just, it's too early for this. Ulysses says, well, Taillon is a pitcher which needs to be carried. Plus, J-Mo is coming out of 2 Tommy Johns. Just give him time. His bat needs time. His bat needs time. You threw me all off there. No, I get he needs time to kind of like come around and get adjusted to pitching in the majors again and just get comfortable on the mound. But there comes a time where you're kind of looking at other guys in the rotation who are kind of in the same boat, right? And they're not struggling as bad as Tyone is. I get every pitcher's not the same, but Gleyber hasn't pitched since 2019. Herman hasn't pitched since 2019. And these are guys who are dominating. So, Justin King says our offense showed up yesterday. Torres, bro, Gleyber Torres is the man. Gleyber Torres is the man. There's no one else I want in a clutch situation right now rather than Gleyber Torres. I apologize for that. But Dirtbike Nation is going to a minor league game today. Shout out to you, Dirtbike Nation. Minor league games are a blast. I think a lot of people, listen, if you guys have any minor league affiliates anywhere near where you live, you should definitely go check out one of their games. Simply because minor league baseball games are just different, right? You get to kind of enjoy the game a little bit more, and there's also like a little bit more fun stuff going on. Vincent says, Pat, you need allergy medicine. It's actually funny because I woke up and my allergies were really bad. So like 10 minutes ago, I popped an Allegra. Clearly it hasn't kicked in yet because I'm still dying. Let's see what we got in the chat. My allergies are usually like only bad in the morning. Anyone else? Anyone else have allergies? Let me know in the chat. Brutal stuff. KG Baseball says it's crazy to think we started 5-10. Now we're 27-19. But my thing is, like, it's not that crazy to think about. It's not that crazy simply because we expected this to come around, like, eventually. When we were looking at the Yankees when they were 5-10, obviously we were kind of pessimistic as far as looking down the road just because of what we were seeing in the present. But at the same time, we were like, this team isn't going to stay this bad for this long. And we mentioned this. The Yankees were down here. They could only go up. They reached rock bottom. I think that Rays series at home when they got swept, that was rock bottom. So, let's see what we got in the chat. Martin says, yo, Pat, that Unhinged shirt is fire. I have to get that, bro. If we sweep the White Sox today, they were going on a hot. We're going on a hot streak. Yeah. Also, appreciate that. $10 on unhingedclothing.shop. Go check it out. Link in bio. But, yeah. It's huge if the Yankees sweep the White Sox today. We've talked about this so often, but I really want to see them do it. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. But are you going to have someone with you on the postgame? Jalen should be on the postgame with me. And then we will be recording an episode for tomorrow, for a recorded episode to go up on the channel. Probably about Ketel Marte. Just saying. THG says, dude, I've had a killer migraine for the past 3 or 4 days and it hasn't gone away. Plus my normal allergies, not feeling that good right now. Johnny, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I feel sleepy all the time. It has to be allergies. Henry's a goat. Let's see. Parker says Red Wings for me. They're less than a half hour away, and the Buffalo Blue Jays are 2 hours away. If no one I don't think the Staten Island Yankees aren't a part of the Yankees organization anymore, right? Are they even a team? I mean, regardless, the Staten Island Yankees Stadium, I don't know what their team name is now, so I'm going to call them the Staten Island Yankees. But their stadium is one of the best I've ever been to. Now, I'm not talking like amenities-wise. I'm talking view-wise. It is the nicest view from a baseball stadium I have ever seen in my life. I want to see if I can pull up a picture. I think most of you guys know what I'm talking about. It just has like an amazing view of like the Manhattan skyline. It's kind of crazy, but let's see what else we got. Ketel Marte is very affordable. He makes $5 million a season. Cashman, book it, make the deal. Bro, the Yankees are looking at $5 million. They're like, why would we pay Ketel Marte $5 million when we could pay Delino De Shields Jr. like $5 million? I mean, like $500,000. Just saying. Ulysses says, well, the thing is that the Yankees pitching need to warm up. Like Herman and Gleyber came around because they had more reps. Fair. But at the same time, it's like you want to see Tyone come around eventually. Like, I don't know how much longer they're going to give Tyone to kind of come around. If he doesn't come around by the All-Star break, they're going to be concerned. And rightfully so, right? MYY Talks says, Pat, trade package for Ketel Marte, Clark Schmidt, and Miguel Andujar and Justin Wilson. think it gets the job done? No. I think the Diamondbacks do not do that. Schmidt and I mean, it's possible, actually. I just don't know if the Diamondbacks do it. Just because I look at Schmidt, I think that's a guy who his value's kind of at its lowest right now, simply because he hasn't been healthy. Andujar, I don't see him really fitting in well with the National League team because he doesn't really play the field too much. And then Justin Wilson, like, bro, what does a team want with Justin Wilson? Like, let's be honest with each other. But Justin Dominguez says, if the Yankees sweep the White Sox, then they will have a lot of confidence if they meet up in the ALCS. Maybe the Yankees get past them and finally get to the World Series. But this is exactly what we've been saying. The Yankees need to kind of make themselves known to these good teams, right? They've done it against the Rays this season. They kind of showed the Rays that they don't own us anymore. They beat the Astros. Now they beat the White Sox as well. If they could sweep the White Sox, even better. But shout out to Alex with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, my man. He predicted for Tyone today, 5 innings pitched, no earned runs, 96 pitches, 7 Ks. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. You guys know we would all be satisfied. Obviously, I'd like to see Tyone go a little bit more. I don't know, but I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll see. THG says the only minor league team I have been to is not even a true minor league team, the Long Island Ducks. Okay, I heard of the Long Island Ducks. I think quite a few like MLB guys have played there in like their break period. Like I know Rich Hill played there, a couple other guys, but I always wanted to go. It's only like I think like 40 minutes for me maybe. Marissa says Tyone giving up no runs. LOL. Okay, that was a good one. We need to bring our bats today. Yeah, I can't see Tyone giving up no runs today against the White Sox lineup. For some reason, I feel like the White Sox are just going to mash. I don't know. Hopefully that's just me being pessimistic, but we'll see. Lori says the Rays and Red Sox aren't going away. I think people are underrating them. The Rays are better than the Red Sox. That's what I feel in my heart. I think the Rays are going to be more of an issue this season than the Red Sox are. The Red Sox aren't going to be in first place for long. I keep telling everyone this. This is such a temporary thing for the Red Sox to kind of be up at the top of the division. I guarantee you guys, guarantee it, by the end of July, they are in third place. Maybe even fourth if the Blue Jays get hot. I'm just saying. Nick says Brett Gardner's going yard today. I hope so. Does Gardner have a home run this season? I don't think so. But Nick is a huge Brett Gardner guy, so shout out to you, Nick. Let's see what we got. Derek says, what's the over-under on how many times we get thrown out on the bases today? Let's see. We could set the over-under at 2.5. Chat, do we think the Yankees make over or under 2.5 base running mistakes today? I'm going to take the under, just because I don't think that they're going to have a terrible day on the base paths. But then again, they could make 10 outs on the base paths today for all I know. I have no idea. Dirtbike Nation over, under. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are getting the under. But Parker says, I think you're wrong about the Red Sox. I could see them getting the wild card. It's possible they could get the wild card. But right now, when I look at the Red Sox, I still think that I would say they're the third best team in that division. I would say it's Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Rays. I know the Rays are having a decent season, but I just don't see them. Keeping it up at all. I don't know. Ulysses says, Pat, the thing is, the Red Sox kind of got a really amazing package for Mookie. Got a good young core of Bogarts and Devers and Hernandez. It's pretty good. Like, they're a good team. Listen, you guys could think, like, that the Red Sox are going to be sustainable. We'll see if they prove me wrong. I don't know. Looking at the Red Sox play right now, I don't see them as being sustainable. Call me crazy. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. And if they become buyers of the deadline, that could change things. But, yeah. Pat, didn't you just say the Rays are better than the Red Sox? Did I? I did. But at the same time, it's like, on paper, I don't think that the Rays are too good. On paper, the Red Sox look better than the Rays, but I think when it comes down to like actual on-the-field performance, the Rays always find a way to pull things out easily. Let's see what we got. Dirtbike Nation says, "Are there extended playoffs?" No. So that's gone. There's no more wild card series this year. It's just a wild card game. So yeah. If Tyone continues to not be able to get past the fourth or fifth inning, then I think we should use him more as an opener. And when he starts, it's more of a bullpen day. Maybe, but I still think that the Yankees aren't going to lose faith in him as a starter, right? They're not going to lose faith in him as a starter after a couple months. Now, that would maybe be the case once Severino comes back. Let's also keep in mind, looking at the Yankees' rotation right now and how dominant it is, Luis Severino is still scheduled to come back in a couple months. So that's going to change things too. So maybe if Tyone's still struggling when Severino comes back, then they could kind of piggyback off each other. I don't know. CV says the Blue Jays are the only ones in our division that I'm worried about. And they're kind of the ones that have given us the toughest time so far this year. I mean, granted, we haven't played the Red Sox yet, but the Blue Jays are a scary team. They have a great offense. If they just got some pitching, they would be really good. Ulysses says, Pat, the Rays just have a really good system of getting really good players out of nowhere. And that's exactly what it is, right? The Rays aren't good on paper. That's why when I kind of rank the teams on paper, the Red Sox go above the Rays just because they have the names. But the Rays they seem to make these random moves, and then these guys just turn into superstars. It's odd. Like, where did a Randy Arozarena come from? Where? But, like, bro, G-Man Choi was such a mediocre MLB player, like, his entire career. Goes to the Rays, becomes an absolute tank. I don't get it. I really don't. Whatever. What's more unrealistic, Unhinged Houston or Unhinged Red Sox? I'd probably say Unhinged Houston is more unrealistic, simply because you guys know this. I despise the Astros much more than I despise the Red Sox. I don't hate the Red Sox. Maybe that's just me, but I think it's also because we haven't played them this season. So, yeah, I mean, that rivalry's been dead for a couple of years now. Martin says, I'm really happy for Gleyber, man. I like his hitting recently. I think the Yankees told him that we need you to be DJ 2.0, and he's been on a hot streak so far. I feel like he's going to have a good game today. And we said this about Gleyber all offseason, right? We kind of mentioned how we don't need him to be that ridiculous, like 30, 40 home run hitter. All we need for him is to kind of be a solid contact guy in the lineup, and that would mean a lot more to the Yankees. So I think if Gleyber keeps up at this pace all season, he could easily bat 300. And I'll take a 300 season with 15 to 20 home runs from Gleyber Torres. I would actually prefer that as opposed to a 40 home run season. Call me crazy, but it's true. Let's see what we got. Disdain is the word of the day. Disdain is the word of the day. I think before today, I haven't heard the word disdain for like months. That's just not a word that I use in my regular vocabulary. Pat, who do you think wins the NL West? I think the Dodgers do. I know they're not really being that competitive right now, but I think they're going to come around eventually. They're only a game out of first place. So, they actually picked it up lately. They're 9-1 in their last 10. I know they went on a really rough streak, kind of like the Yankees did. But I think the Dodgers still pull that one out. Brendan says, sometimes these guys who play on the bench for big markets really need to play every day. In smaller markets like G-Man Choi, like Clint Frazier. We've said this so many times. If Clint Frazier goes to a team like Milwaukee, I can almost guarantee you guys he becomes a superstar. I don't think anybody could argue that because the talent's there, right? But I think when these guys don't get consistent at-bats and they can't really get into the groove in a big market, I think if they get every day at-bats in a smaller market, they could succeed heavily. You see this with plenty of guys that leave the Yankees. They go to a smaller team and just become superstars. It happens. Parker says, if Tyone is on the bump today, I'm betting on a loss. True. I think Tyone's kind of the only guy in the Yankees starting rotation now where you kind of look at him, and I don't want to say you guarantee a loss, but you kind of expect one. I think that's a fair way of putting it. Tyone definitely doesn't set the Yankees up for success whatsoever. Borg says, the one play against the Braves where Gleyber didn't really hustle seems like it's been the turning point for him. Fair. I think ever since that day, he's kind of changed his whole hitting mentality, his approach at the plate, right? We've seen him kind of go for swing and miss every single time to now kind of just putting the ball in play. And this is exactly what we need from him. We don't need him to be that 40 home run guy. And I think he's finally starting to realize that. Disdain is better than saying I hate something. I think a lot of people are so opposed to saying they hate something. I'm not afraid to say I hate something. Like, I hate the Astros. Sorry, Astros. Sorry, not sorry. Ed King says, we seem to do better when we string together singles and doubles. But this is exactly what we've been saying. The Yankees just need to put the ball in play. I'd much rather see them like string together a few extra base hits to score than just launching solo home runs. Like, come on. Like, we know this. We've been talking about this. The situational hitting is key, and the Yankees couldn't do that in the beginning of the season. It seems like they've picked it up as of late. There was quite a few games in Texas where did they hit a home run at all in Texas? I can't remember, but it really doesn't feel like they hit many home runs in Texas. So, just throwing that out there. Ulysses says, ugh, is Clint another Sonny Gray type? That's kind of how I'm feeling about Clint. I feel like he'll be traded to a team like the Reds, maybe even like the Diamondbacks, and he'll go there and just flourish. And honestly, I'd be so happy for him because it's kind of getting to that point where the Yankees clearly haven't ever been the biggest fans of Clint Frazier. The Yankee fan base clearly aren't the biggest fans of Clint Frazier, but I don't know. Johnny says, I know I say this practically every stream, but the Yankees should have signed Tommy La Stella. I would have loved Tommy La Stella. I would have loved Michael Brantley. The Yankees really needed to sign like a left-handed contact bat, but they didn't. They were confident in what they had, so now we're in this position. But Tyler Wade hasn't been that bad. I do want to make that clear. Tyler Wade has not been that bad. So if he can maybe be their left-handed hitting solution, I know it's a stretch, but hey Pat, do you think Gleyber is a Hall of Famer? I heard a lot of people talking about that since he throws that no-hitter, so I'm not sure if he's a Hall of Famer just yet. I have to look at his stats because let me just check really quick. I mean, he's definitely on pace for a Hall of Fame career. I would say he is. Simply because he's how old? He's 35. If Gleyber could put up like 3 more seasons, 2 to 3 more seasons like he's doing now, I think he will be a Hall of Famer. I don't think that's crazy to say. Usually the way I base Hall of Famers is like 6 elite seasons, right? And I think Gleyber already has at least 5. So I think if he could just continue this at if he could keep up this current performance he's doing with the Yankees, I think without a doubt he'll probably be a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Damian says, Clint looks like he changed his batting stance again. It kills me how bad he has played this year. Such high hopes, and now he is on the verge of losing his spot to Miggy. I know. And you guys know this. I'm the biggest Clint Frazier guy. I love Clint Frazier with all my heart. But it's getting to a point where we can't really defend him anymore. I think it's all mental because we know that he has the talent to be so successful for the Yankees. And it's just so unfortunate to the point where you don't know what to do with him anymore. You don't know whether you put him in left or right or where on the lineup or whether he needs a day off to kind of get his head straight. It seems like nothing's working. So maybe a trade. It would be better off for both sides at this point. I don't know. Felix says, I think Clint wants to be traded. Maybe. But also, let's not forget this, right? The Yankees went into the season with Clint Frazier as their starting left fielder, right? He was pretty solid the first few games. I believe around game 5 or 6, he started to struggle. And once he started to struggle, literally 2 games into the slump, the Yankees pulled him, sat him for 2 days so Brett Gardner could start in left. I think, now I'm not trying to make excuses, but I think that was kind of the death note for Clint Frazier's entire mental space. You can't do that to a guy who's going into his first season where you're claiming he's your starting left fielder, and then a few games into a slump, you bench him for 2 days for a 35-year-old outfielder. You just can't do that. And I think the Yankees kind of killed Clint Frazier. I don't know. But they've never really given him his fair share of opportunities. I mean, this is a guy who should have been an everyday MLB staple since 2017, and they really never gave him that shot. So But Ed King says Clint will hit a bomb today. You guys know, I always predict Clint to hit a bomb. If we're kind of looking at the Yankees lineup going up against Keuchel, my home run predictions for today are Clint. I'm going to go Gary. And I'm going to go LeMahieu. LeMahieu's a sneaky pick there. I think he might. Listen, only because I could see him taking like a Keuchel pitch like opposite field, like just over the wall. I don't know. Lori says, I could see Clint being traded and trashing the Yankees on the way out of the door for ruining his career. Listen, but it wouldn't be that ludicrous for him to kind of bash the Yankees for ruining his career. They kind of have, and it's unfortunate, but I don't know, it sucks. The whole situation sucks. Clint Frazier's already kind of talked about how his career hasn't gone how he expected it to. He feels like he should have been a guy since 2017 who was a starting outfielder. And I don't know, the Yankees have manipulated his service time. Like Lori said, he's almost 27. He should be established by now. And the Yankees kind of ruined that for him. I don't know, it sucks. I love Clint, bro. What trade would you do for Clint? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what his value is at this point. It's kind of interesting. I also don't know if the Yankees would trade him with his value at his lowest. But at this point, I don't know how it could go up from here. Especially if he's not getting every day at bats. It's tough. It's really tough. Chani says Gary's not going deep today. He is as dead as a doornail right now, sadly. Bro, Gary is your typical guy, though, where he could look atrocious for a handful of games, and then bang, solo shot out of nowhere off a good pitcher. So that's just Gary. So I don't think it's that crazy to ever predict a home run from Gary in a game. Alex with a $2 dono says, Voit hit a bomb in Texas. Appreciate the dono, my man. Voit did hit the bomb, but other than that, I can't really remember the Yankees hitting too many home runs there. How many did they hit in that 4-game span? I know Voit was one. I don't know if there was any others. Brendan says, this week, Team USA releases its roster for the Olympics. Does anyone follow Team USA baseball? I didn't even know baseball was in the Olympics. Am I supposed to know that? I had no idea. But it's not going to be any MLB players, right? Because aren't the Olympics during the summer when the season's on? So you're not going to have any MLB players in there. Jacob Dahl says the Yankees ruined Jobber Chamberlain's career. Now it's Frazier. It's true. It's so true. And I hate to kind of go this route, but I think the Yankees' obsession with Brett Gardner was the catalyst for Clint Frazier. And I know Brett Gardner had a really solid 2019, but I think after the 2017 season, what you had to do was kind of just part ways with Brett Gardner, right? That would have been the smart thing to do. And then just make Clint Frazier a starting guy out there. Going into 2018, I really feel like Clint Frazier should have been the Yankees' starting left fielder. I don't know. And obviously Stanton was the starting left fielder. I believe Gardner was the starting center fielder, unless it was Hicks. But eventually it kind of ended up working as Gardner starting out there and Clint being in the minors, which I think is unfortunate. It should have never happened. Let's see. Christopher says, I think Todd Frazier is in it. Cool. If Todd Frazier is kind of the key for Team USA baseball, the Yankees, Team USA is screwed. Todd Frazier is not good anymore at all. But let's make predictions. Let's make some predictions for today's game. As far as how Tyone is going to do, I don't have high expectations whatsoever. I know, shocker, right? I feel like every time I talk about Jameson Tyone, it's just not positive. But I think today he goes 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks. Hopefully that could keep the Yankees in the game. I don't have high hopes. I know, like I said, he is at home, so he will probably be a little bit better. But at the same time, hopefully he could turn things around in general. I don't know. Justin King says Gardy went off in 2018, though. That was his best season. I think you're talking about 2019. I don't think Brett Gardner was that good in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check really quick. Gardy batted 236 in 2018 with 12 home runs. 2018 was not a solid year for Gardy. It was 2019 with the juice balls where he kind of just proved everyone wrong, right? 251 with 28 bombs. Odd stuff. But As far as home run predictions, you guys know I said Clint, Gary, and DJ are all going to go yard against Keuchel. As far as a final score, I think the Yankees win. I think it's going to be a fairly high-scoring one. I think the Yankees win 6-5. Chat, do we like it? Yankees win 6-5. I think even though Tyone is on the mound, I think it's promising that he is at home. But I still see 3 runs. I don't know. But Fuzzy said Brett Gardner was the greatest average player in baseball, which is true. That's true. That's definitely true. But shout out to Alex with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Alex. He says, I don't like Jameson starting after Cole. Your second best starter is supposed to start, not your worst. I really don't like it. Well, I mean, the Yankees have kind of messed up their starting rotation, kind of like the order of the season with the off days and the skipping guys days. And I don't know. I don't really think it matters that much that Tyone's starting after Cole. But obviously you would like to see maybe Gleyber after a Cole start. It is what it is. I'm still hoping Tyone can turn things around. I know I predicted 5 innings, 3 earned runs for him today, but I hope he does better. I don't know. This is just what I'm feeling. But, Alex, I appreciate the dono, my man. Genuinely do. But, yeah, that is going to wrap things up for today's pregame. Appreciate everyone for stopping by. You guys know the deal. Going live before and after every single Yankees game this season. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Turn on post notifications for more. I will be live directly after the Yankees game today. I believe Jalen's going to come on, so stay tuned for that. Should be a fun one. On that note, I will see you guys later. Hopefully the Yankees can pull it out. Hopefully Tyone pitches pretty well. You guys know the deal. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Let's go Yankees. Peace.